Yo, what's up, Crockxen clan members, anime fans, and others who may have stumbled upon this video? I'm SoresanCrockxen, and as is a yearly tradition on my channel, we'll be counting down my top 10 anime of the year. For those of you who are new to the channel, this list is not based solely on anime that released during the year, but anime that I watched and enjoyed throughout the year. Some of these shows I'm currently still watching to this day. Some of them I finished early in the year. As a reminder, this list is based purely on my opinion, so if you see a show on here that you didn't enjoy, that's okay. Feel free to leave your list in the comment section below. Now without further ado, let's get started with the countdown. Starting our list off at number 10, we have Akashic Records of Bastard Magic Instructor. This is one of the shows I've recently started watching, but even so has left a big mark in the year for me. It gives me a rich magic world with competent main character who really pushes the boundaries of how society works in the world. The magic displayed so far is interesting because it's been a long time since I've seen incantations used for spells. Very solid start. Moving on to the number 9 spot, I have Kiss Niver. This was a show I watched with my little sister back in August. What's interesting about this show is that I heavily, and I mean heavily, hated the ending. It was one of those endings to the series that really seemed to make my blood boil to ridiculous levels. You might be asking yourselves, if I hated something so majorly, why is it on this list? Well, it's because I classify it a little bit differently than the other shows. Kiss Niver has something that some anime in the past have shown to me. An impactful scene that resonates for me for a long time. Some shows have that one scene that I will never forget because of what it did to the series and how I felt about it. From the music, the tone, setting, and how it moved the plot. For me, episode 9 had that scene, and because of that, it's on this list. Following up at number 8, we have The Disappearance of Nagato Yuki-chan. This is a show I made a review for back in the beginning of the year, and also had an ending that really irritated me. This show had many flaws, but I like the simple approach it took to counterbalance the original Haruhi Suzumiya series. The way the characters were portrayed was a fresh look, and made it feel different and unique, and I loved it for that very reason. A fantastic addition to the Haruhi verse that I hope has more to come. Coming in at number 7, we have Ko no Suba. Currently watching its second season and loving every second of this comedy fest. Kazuma is an easy character to relate to if you ever had to deal with incompetent people. The world is very vibrant and the hijinks are freaking hysterical. Every time I need a good laugh, Konosuba is always there to help. Rounding down the bottom half of the list is Danganronpa Despair Arc. Now I'm currently rewatching the whole series from the beginning with my family, but I love the first run through this saga. I'm usually not a fan of prequel stories since you normally have an idea of how it's going to end, but due to the nature of the first season and the fact that it left so many questions left unanswered, it was nice to see the origins of what transpired. I love the happy-go-lucky tone in the beginning slowly drown in despair as it headed to the storyline of the first season. It was eye-catching from beginning to end, and I can't wait to watch it again. Starting off the top 5 is a relatively newcomer to my line of sight, Black Clover. I had previously heard of this series and I even had it written down in my queue since last year when the anime was announced, but completely forgot about it. I finally got around to checking it out. It was better than I could have expected. After the end of Naruto back in February, and with Fairy Tail not starting back up until maybe next year, I was missing out on my classic shonen anime. In comes Black Clover to suit my needs. Now while I still have a slight distaste of Asta's constant screaming, the friendly rivalry between the two main characters is a much better tone than the old Naruto Sasuke fiasco. It is a fascinating take on the underdog story, and I can't wait to continue watching this series for a long time. Next up on the list is the oldie but goodie Ronin Kenshin. I watched this anime as an exchange with my best friend. I gave him FMA Brotherhood, he gave me Ronin Kenshin. Guess he got the better in that deal. Just kidding, he might be watching. Anyway, it was a pleasant change of pace to watch a series from before in the time of modern technology, with the whole CGI and fast-paced editing we have today. The characters were very well fleshed out, the scenery was great, the story was phenomenal. I actually felt like I was smack dab in the middle of the Meiji era, alongside everybody else. I'm glad we made the swap, and I can't wait to see what happens if we ever do it again. At number 3, we have our very own special Naruto Shippuden. As you can all remember, this year was the official finale of the anime, which, I'm sorry to say, was a long time coming. But even though the anime was dragged out and milked to exhaustion, it finished off very strong, at least in my opinion. The final fight with Kaguya was epic from start to finish. Seeing Naruto and Sasuke work together again after basically becoming gods was so badass. And I'm glad to see how strong these guys got over the course of the series, culminating in their final fight in the Valley of the End to pay homage to the final fight in the original series. All this ending with Naruto's wedding with Hinata to hit the point home that Naruto's really all grown up. And for that, Naruto will always have a place in my heart. Our runner-up for this year is Blue Exorcist Season 2. I personally loved the original series when it was released back in 2011? Man, I'm old. Anyway, back when I finished that season, I thought it was a nice ending until I heard later down the line that the second half was basically filler. What? Then the second season released, and I basically watched it on a weekly basis, and it was a nice comeback. I love the way the story was handled and how the characters acted, which made a lot more sense in season 1. The fights were epic, and the character development was phenomenal, and I'm really looking forward to seeing more in the future. Finally, taking the first spot in my eyes this year was the one, the only, Sinbad no Boken. Oh my God, I love this series. Sinbad was my favorite character in the original series, and now he had his own backstory show. Bruh, I was super excited when I heard this was a thing. Unfortunately, this was a Netflix exclusive, which meant I couldn't watch it when it released right away. But the moment my sister got me a 3-month subscription, it was go time. I marathoned the whole season in one sitting. It was exhilarating to see where the Sinbad character originated and where all his allies from the Seven Seas Alliance came from. Also, Drakon was so cool before turning into a sea dragon self. With a wide cast of characters and a lot of hijinks, this was without a doubt my go-to series this year. Now, if only we could get a season 2 announced. And that's it. My list of my top 10 anime of 2017. Let me know what you think in the comment section below, as well as your personal favorites of this year. I want to thank everybody for watching me throughout this year. Here's to 2018.